Hi, I'm Noah. I'm a stay-at-home dad with twins. So this fall is going to be a new sitcom starring Will Arnett as a stay-at-home dad. So much for that Twin Dad show spec pilot I was going to write. Okay, let's get right to it. Today I'm really just going to promote two other projects of mine. Wait, Noah, two other projects? Are these why you haven't been posting videos much lately? Why you're down to like 2 a month? No, that's just laziness. But my other two projects are kind of fun, and I would really love it if you guys would check them out as much as that might be possible. One you can definitely check out is my new podcast. It's called the Little Theater Podcast, and I host it with my friend Jack Mira, and we discuss issues relating to regional, community, and educational theater. Now, if you have any interest in those things, please do listen to it. And even if you don't, Jack and I are pretty entertaining people. And if you have any friends who work in theaters like that, please maybe recommend it to them. It's available on iTunes, and just search for the Little Theater Podcast. The thing you probably couldn't come see, though, is actually the thing I'm going to spend most of this video talking about. You see, I have recently been doing comedy at an open mic night called Matt Mira's Day Off. Just who is Matt Mira, you might ask? Well, do any of you listen to the Nerdist podcast? If you don't, you should. It's a podcast hosted by Chris Hardwick. He's a comedian who's probably still best known as the host of Singled Out. That was that mid-90s dating game show on MTV. Chris was the host of it, and his co-host was originally Jenny McCarthy, and then she left and she was replaced by Carmen Electra. I mentioned this to my father, and he said, I've seen both those women naked, but I don't remember that show. My father, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I told that story on the second episode of the podcast, and I think I'm going to do it on stage next time I go up as a stand-up. That's right. I'm triple platforming it, bitches. So anyway, The Nerdist is hosted by Chris and his friend Jonah Ray, who's also a comedian, and their friend Matt Mira, who's an aspiring comedian who currently works in an Apple store. You just pass on through, baby, eh? On the podcast, they interview celebrities, and they just talk about sort of nerdy stuff. And it's really fun. And they've set up this little performance space in the back of this comic book store in Hollywood called Meltdown Comics. And that's where they do live podcasts, and they have like panel discussions and live stand-up shows. And on Sundays, that means that Matt Mira hosts an open mic night. I've gone up 3 times so far, and it's been a lot of fun. I've gotten a good reaction from the crowd, which consists almost entirely of the other comedians and their friends. The other comedians, by the way, are generally quite good, which are rare for an open mic night. And I don't think I'll be looking at too many other opportunities for stand-up anytime soon, but it's a great chance to exercise some muscles that I haven't used in a while. Now, here's where this actually gets semi-relevant to this blog. I am, not surprisingly, one of the oldest, if not the oldest, guys there. The vast majority of the other comics are in their 20s, and they're unmarried. Certainly none of them have 2 babies at home. So, what does this mean? Well, it does mean that my jokes about having babies usually don't work too well. My material has generally been quite well received, but the few bits I've done about fatherhood have definitely gotten the least reaction. Now, this isn't surprising, it's just not a part of their lives. And the jokes that I try out on the actual babies, they almost never work. I mean, look, this always kills at home. But when I go into the audience and I start to pretend to eat the belly of someone out there, they just give me the light right away. So, do I feel out of place? No, not really, but when I listen to the other comics doing jokes about dating or playing video games or taking trips to Vegas and stuff, it really drives home how incredibly removed my life is from that. Essentially, they're all Seth Rogen at the beginning of Knocked Up, and I'm him at the end of it. Am I at all jealous of these young whippersnappers and their freedom and their disposable income? Well, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little envious. I mean, sometimes it seems like it would be nice to be able to drive out to Santa Cruz on a whim or spend the day going to see 3 or 4 movies, but then one of them does a joke about trying to get a date or being alone or something, and it reminds me how incredibly lucky I am to have the life that I have right now. I'm almost 35, and I'm not a famous comedian. I'm not a successful television writer. But I'm the father of 2 incredible babies and the husband of an amazing woman who doesn't mind that I leave her to put those babies to bed all by herself one night a week. So, Matt Mira's Day Off is also Noah Smith's night off. I'm glad to have it, but I don't mind when the next morning comes. I do mind slightly when one of these babies decides that morning starts at 3:30 a.m. Bye.